Yes, ma'am. Good morning. The October 2nd, 2019 meeting of the Board of Estimates is now called to order. In the interest of promoting the order and efficiency of these hearings, persons who are disruptive to the hearing will be asked to leave the hearing room. Meetings of the Board of Estimates are open to the public for the duration of the meeting. The hearing room must be vacated at the conclusion of the meeting. Failure to comply may result in a charge of trespassing. Madam Deputy Comptroller, are there any corrections, additions, or deferrals on the agenda?
Good morning. For today's agenda, the board did not receive any protests. There are no additions or corrections or deferrals on today's agenda. We have the one item on the non-routine agenda, which is page 34. I have the following abstentions to report. The Honorable Mayor Young will abstain on pages 23 to 24 and on pages 38 to 39. There are no abstentions for the Honorable President Scott. The Honorable Comptroller Pratt will abstain on pages 12 to 13, page 14, pages 38 to 39, and page 121, item number 13. Mr. President, members of the board, those are the abstentions received thus far, as well as the one item remaining on the non-routine agenda, which is page 34. Thank you.
Thank you. I would direct the board members' attention to the memorandum from my office dated September 30th, 2019, identifying matters to be considered as routine agenda items together with any corrections and any additions that have been noted by the Deputy Comptroller. I will entertain a motion to approve all of the items contained on the routine agenda.
Mr. President, I move approval of all items on the routine agenda.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion carries. The routine agenda items have been adopted. The first item on the non-routine agenda can be found on page 34, Department of Audits. Audit Report, Item 1, Baltimore Development Corporation Biennial Performance Audit Fiscal Years ended June 30th, 2018 and 2017. Will the parties please come forward?
Good morning, Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, Madam Comptroller, board members. My name is Josh Pash. I am the City Auditor.
Mr. Comptroller, can you pull it up a little bit? Thank you.
We conducted a performance audit of the performance measures for the fiscal years ended June 30th, 2018 and 2017 for the Baltimore Development Corporation as part of our biannual performance audit schedule. The performance measures which we reviewed are for Service Center 809, companies BDC assisted in staying in Baltimore City, and jobs retained in or added to city per full-time employee, and in Service Center 814, number of jobs created. Except for fiscal year 2018 performance measure for jobs retained in or added to city per full-time employee, which was Service Center 809, BDC met the targets of selected performance measures. This performance measure was not met due to a change in methodology for tracking the number of jobs retained. However, a disclosure for the change in methodology was missing from the budget book. For fiscal year 16, the target was based on expected jobs at the inception of the project. And for fiscal year 18, the actuals were based on jobs actually created. And our recommendation is that if there's a change in how performance data is calculated, that be disclosed in the budget book to give transparency and clarity in comparing the measures. We had two other findings. For Service Center 809, the reporting, monitoring, and tracking are complex, manual, and require combining of 3 separate reports. BDC has a review process to ensure that 2 performance measures under the Service to 809 are accurately reported. However, BDC's performance reporting and monitoring process for 809, we noted some issues. One, under the category efficiency, the initial results report was missing some relevant data to support the actual number of jobs created or retained. This led to multiple sets of data, which we tried to agree to the reported actual results. This is due to a lack of maintaining supporting electronic files and that were used to calculate the actual results. We also noted that 3 of the 60 businesses that we selected for our testing, because we sample test, were counted twice for the outcome budget reporting, and this was due to a lack of reconciliation between the 3 reports of supporting documentation. We also noted that in Service 814, that the calculations were based on the number of jobs created, were based on the Main Streets program and or the Retail Business District License Program. In fiscal year 17, the calculation was based on a combination or a mixture of those 2 programs. However, in fiscal year 2018, the Main Streets program was transferred to the mayor's office, and the results were only calculated using RBDL in the calculation. This change was also not reported in the budget book. We also noted that the multiplier used to calculate the RBDL was not reasonable. The multiplier was obtained from the U.S. Census data and was based on retail trade establishments throughout the entire city, including commercial zones, which tend to have larger retailers than the ones of which the RBDL program. As a result, we noticed that the reporting for the RBDL had 43 more jobs reported than under the Main Streets program. Our recommendation there is for BDC to evaluate whether Service Center 814, the actual performance measures, should be using a different metric and a different way to calculate the results, and that they should validate the accuracy of the actual results reported in the budget book. Thank you.
Good morning, President Scott, Mayor Young, Comptroller Pratt, honorable members of the board. I'm Henry Raymond, Director of Finance. I'm responding to finding number 1. The Finance Department concurs with the finding and has taken the corrective action to ensure that moving forward, changes in methodology are footnoted in the budget books.
Good morning, Honorable Board. My name is Colin Tarbert. I serve as President and CEO of the Baltimore Development Corporation. We'd like to thank the Audit Department for working with us, and we concur with the findings. And certainly our goal is accurate and transparent data. And I'm going to let Kim Clark, our Executive Vice President, respond to the additional 2 findings, one of which has now moved from BDC to the Mayor's Office. So we would just ask that the recommendation actually be addressed to the Mayor's Office in terms of the reporting data, and then I'll let Kim speak to the other finding.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kim Clark. I'm Executive Vice President. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Council President, and Madam Comptroller, members of the board. We concur with the findings. We understand how our reporting system can be a little bit complicated to the lay eye. We're used to working with this data all the time. We know what it means. We talk the talk, walk the walk every day. So sometimes when it's seemingly that we're double reporting, the reconciliation doesn't happen till at the end of the year. So we're working to correct that. We absolutely do not have it in our budget to be able to hire a Salesforce type program to use for electronic data collection. So we're trying to come up with a system that we can work that's free of service so that we can have accurate reporting. We do try our best. We've hired many young people in recent times who are helping us work through those sorts of situations. As Colin said, Service 814 is no longer one of our services. It was eliminated in the 2020 budget. And as for the 809 reporting, we are working to better those systems. So I'm happy to answer any questions you might have regarding that.
Thank you. The order has been noted. We will now proceed to police legal settlements on the non-routine agenda, which is intended simply to permit citizens to address the board if they wish. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to any plaintiffs of police legal settlements. Will any persons who wish to speak please come forward? Thank you. Before we close, I just wanted to recognize that are you anybody who has received a settlement for police misconduct can come forward to speak. All right, thank you. Before we close, I'd like to recognize that have been joined today by the good folks from Johnson Square, Rebuild Johnson Square, and Rebuild Metro. Just wanted to recognize them today. As there is no more business before the board, we will recess until bid opening at 12 noon. The board will also be at recess October the 9th, 2019. We will reconvene October 16, 2019. Thank you.
Good afternoon. The Board of Estimates is now in session for the receiving and opening of bids. In the interest of promoting the order and efficiency of these proceedings, persons who are disruptive to the meeting will be asked to leave the boardroom. Meetings of the Board of Estimates are open to the public for the duration of the meeting. The boardroom must be vacated at the conclusion of the meeting. Failure to comply may result in a charge of trespassing. One addenda has been received for today. It is B50005795, Laboratory Analysis Services. The bid opening date has been changed from October the 2nd, 2019. The new bid opening date is October 23rd, 2019.
The addendum is noted for the record.
The first bid is the Bureau of Procurement, B50005911, all-terrain vehicles with a bid bond.
With a check.
With a check. The bidder is Finch Services, Inc.,
And they have a check.
and they have a check. And the bid item 1 for the Department of General Services, Attachment A, is $24,490. That's $24,490. The second bid item, number 2, is Recreation and Parks, and the total bid amount is $54,509. $54,509.
So I'm noting these as just number 1 and then number 2. Is that okay? Okay. So then this will be referred to the Bureau of Purchasing for review.
There being no further business before this board, we are now adjourned.